Pedersen, who's already become a firm favorite, and he hasn't even kicked a ball yet. He's got the crowd rowing at the end of games and stuff. And he has been included on the bench this afternoon.
Now the pitch looks in lovely condition.
It's very green as well for this time of the year. By the way, we are out here because next door, the new Peter Mokaba Stadium is still undergoing repairs to the pitch there. I've opted to call this one the Peter Mokaba Stadium because it wasn't old before the other one came. Could be a ball in here and closed down quickly, but still Sekhukhune. Pirates looking to defend this title for a fourth time. In other words, win it for the fifth time in a row. Already on an unprecedented run. They're playing in their 11th double-legged semi-final since MTN resorted to the double-legged semi-finals, the MTN 8. This is their 11th appearance. They've progressed past the semis, Pirates, in their last 7 editions of this tournament. There he is, the blonde, you can't miss him. That's Sebastian Pedersen, who they're hoping will bring goals as well. And in the absence, of course, of Evidence Makopa, who looks like being a long-term injury absentee. And goals came, of course, from midfield last season from the likes of Rele Mofokeng, likes of Patrick Maswanganye, who is a noticeable absentee from the squad list for Pirates this season.
Yeah, Pirates side, not, like I said, not reliant on a number 9 to bring in the goals. Last year, Mapalas 9, Mofokeng 8, Maswanganye 8. So the goals spread amongst a few players.
He's got 10 goals across all competitions. So that's I think that's a strength. To be the ability to spread goals across the squad like that. I think it's definitely a strength for any team. Siamada at the back, who was amongst the scorers against Chippa United, as Pirates ran riot there, winning that one comfortably, 3-0 to Sekhukhune. Also coming off the back of a positive 2-0 win against Limpopo Derby against Polokwane City. It's a match they could have won by an even bigger margin. So dominant were they.
Well, there was some great speed showed there by Matimbi. And under the tutelage of Cedric Kazi, you're immediately seeing a Sekhukhune side that plays a bit more braver. Not afraid to take the game to their side. Yes, there was one lackluster performance against Kaizer Chiefs, but other than that, they've looked sharp.
They really have. It's been a very impressive start to the season. They've won 3 of their 4 matches so far. The only blemish, as you say, the loss against Chiefs when they were decidedly off color. They were quite poor by the standards that we've seen early on this season. And they've also shown an appetite for goals. Scored 4 against Amazulu in that crazy quarter-final match of the MTN 8. Fortunately, the man who got the winner for them that day is amongst those injury casualties.
What a goal that was, taken on the volley from an acute angle. No chance for the goalkeeper to save that one.
Now we believe he could be out for a while. Voelitapa with a fractured leg. Happened against the Kaizer Chiefs. Now they've also lost Mashidwani to injury, and he's been fantastic. He's a great player, formerly of Orlando Pirates, calling from Maroka. Let's have a look at what can Ramala do from the corner. Another one who has really scored an absolute banger against Amazulu. He goes from a set piece, well taken, but not controlled there by Brighton Ndlovu. Just 1 goal for Ndlovu so far this season in his 4 appearances. As he comes off the back of his head, so didn't was in control of that one.
Yeah, we're talking of injuries. As Orlando Pirates side have been struck. The unfortunate ones. Speaking of Nduli just coming back, that was so unfortunate.
After a long, lengthy absence through injury, and then suffered a horrific injury. Certainly wish him well. This is Nduli. Busy. CMR was amongst those that were received an honor at the PSL Awards as Pirates swept the board. CMR named defender of the season, Apollos, working it wide to Sibelibe. Tiani, beautiful turn, top of the shot. The referee sees nothing wrong with the challenge, and now he's going to bring them back. Beautiful drop of the shoulder there from Masilel.
Gotta love that, great awareness. Totally fooled Ramallah there, which is closing him down. Excellent move in midfield until you lose the ball. Wow. That's what makes brilliant midfielders.
Now, Pirates looking to venture into the box for the first time. Away by Mokoena. Brother.
That was quite funny that he gave it to against Sekhukhune, because Savisi clearly blocked him off.
Gets across his men there, space in, wins the fighting Jovo. The big man, he will be a handful he'll keep the two centre-backs busy. Burly character gets busy as well, very mobile.
Yeah, and he's got a lot of mobility in and around him in Mojele, Ramallah as well as Mokoena. He plays with his back to goal. Holds up play very nicely there for Sekhukhune. Allows midfielders to join him.
Giving chase and keeping it alive there is Sibelibe will get the throw in. Very evenly contested for opening 10 minutes here in this MTN 8 semi-final. The second meeting between these two sides in the MTN 8. The first time they met, the only other meeting was when Sekhukune's first qualification in this tournament back in 2023. And Pirates thrashed them by 5-0 that day, with Zakele Lepasa getting a hat-trick. Best pass back and return pass for Dion Hotto. It was intended. Tapelo Mukubudi starting there in midfield once again. Another former Stellies man.
A bit of a conservative start for Orlando Pirates, especially from the likes of Hotto as well as Sibelibe on either flanks. They're normally bombing up and down that line. Must be said that this size of a pitch is always easier for teams like Sekhukhune to operate and cut down the spaces for the opposition.
Yes, it is a smaller pitch, but it's definitely not as small as the Seshego one.
Yeah, 100%.
And the Seshego surface as well is not the greatest at the moment, so I think this Polokwane, the Peter Mokaba Stadium pitch is looking as good as it has, as I've seen it in quite a while. Deep there, this one just a little bit too deep again, going over the head of Ndlovu. Centre back converted into a striker.
Amazing.
Yeah, banging goals at Kruger United.
And it's amazing how versatile he is. Yes, you have players that can play in different positions, but he masters being a defender. And clearly, I think being a striker is, I think, would be his first choice position, because just how he operates, how he protects the ball, how he holds up play, and how he finds spaces in the box. let you know.
Spacey. Clip the ball there. Well controlled now. Dion Hotto opening it up here now as he tried to crack a shot there. Nungu, who's off to a great start in his Pirates career. Crucial header away there. Matsimbi, I think it was, that got to it. Apollos. Dion Hotto going to the back post, but I think he's overcooked this one. It's going to go out for a throw-in for Sekhukhune United. Dion Hotto, and with one of the more experienced players in this Pirates side that's got a lot of newer and younger faces in the squad. And you'll recognize that by the number of players with big numbers on their jerseys, like 30s and 40s. It tells you about the number of new recruits.
I think the lowest number in the side of new recruits is Lungu, and that's 23. Nothing wrong with a bit of Jordan. No pressure.
Tierney. Well, players, I guess, also have to manage their energy levels here. Stan Fredericks in this heat. Don't want to overexert yourself early on in a game that could, you know, still got a long way to go. Of course, we're being a two-legged semi-final, means this one will be 90 minutes. As in, there won't be any extra time in this today. Extra time will only be required if the sides are tied 0-0 come next week.
Yeah, not only for the two legs, but definitely for this weather conditions. Have to pace yourself.
The away goals rule, of course, remains in place in this competition, meaning that Pirates would love to come away with one of those. But priority would also be not to... Ooh, collision there, awkward collision there between Dion Hotto and Matsimbi, who is booked.
It definitely looks like Sekhukhune are the more fired up for this encounter. So by that try, challenges, that was a nasty challenge.
That's bad, bad.
He put his knee in his back, yeah.
Oh, that's bad. And Hotto is still down. Looks worse on the replay, as it generally does. That's his third booking of the season for Tsepo Matsimbi. All competitions.
Not far off his name, Mtsimbi.
One caution away from a suspension. Of course, if he does get cautioned again in this game, he will be having an early shower. He'll be red carded. He'll have to go off. Thankfully, Dion Hotto is back on his feet.
A bit of an unnecessary challenge here from Matsimbi.
Not the best delivery from Dion Hotto, but he has managed to get it to the feet of a teammate. It comes back to Hotto. Apollos. Hotto keeps the run going. It's a beautiful shape on that one there from Tapelo Mukubudi. Siema popping up on the far side with Spacey, I think it was, and ended up getting his head onto it. It's not Spacey.
So this is a delightful ball played in from Mukubudi.
And it's to stay on side, if only just. See that Cardoso had his hand up there, calling for a offside. That was perfectly judged there from the blind side by the Pirates players. Lost possession again now. And Sekhukhune win it back. So the other player that they are missing, Sekhukhune United, is Givmo Coupe, who's been excellent in midfield for them. That tall, dangling figure in midfield gets stuck in and also joins in on the attack.
Yeah, and that's one thing about Sekhukhune. They every season manage to assemble a solid side. Get some names involved, a lot of transfers every season, but they still manage to rack up a side that can challenge in the top 8. Managed to stay in the top 4 quite a while last season, in 3rd and 4th positions, Sekhukhune.
Yeah, they definitely were right up there for the longest time, especially the first half of the season. In fact, they went unbeaten in their first 8 matches of last season, which I think was a similar record for Pirates as well in their opening 8 games. In fact, the Pirates did lose early on, I beg your pardon. They lost to Sekhukhune in their first home match of the season. Well, lost that one 1-0. In fact, as I said, Pirates went 2 matches last season without scoring against Sekhukhune. The only side that Pirates failed to score against.
You feel that Ndlovu will have one up on Sibisi, because he knows how defenders think. That's going to be a nice battle all afternoon. Sibisi up against Ndlovu.
Haven't seen Sekhukune's speedsters get a chance to run with the ball here. I'm talking about the likes of Mujela, Ramala and Mokoena. Abdeslam Wadu, and who's been calling for patience amongst the supporters and saying they're basically calling for them to trust the process. He says he's not entirely happy with where the side are, and he's actually thrown down the challenge to the senior players to step up and let the younger players take the pressure off the youngsters and the newer players and allow them to settle in. So he's called upon the senior players to lead by example. Melusi Telezi, who played 22 times for Orlando Pirates. It's very difficult for him to break into the side with the Sipho chain showing the kind of form that he has in the last 2 or 3 seasons. And so now Pirates, how they managed to keep possession here. Oh, Kampani Lungu there, compared to Wild on that one. Lungu, 2 goals already in his 4 appearances for Pirates. He's had 4 goals over the years in the MTN 8 in his 10 appearances in this competition. He has already scored twice, and including the winner, a late dramatic winner in the quarterfinal against Durban City, in a game that looked like was heading for penalties.
What a cracker that was. What a way to start your tenure at your new team.
20 minutes gone here at Peter Mokaba Stadium. So you just saw the attempts on goal there. Nothing on target yet from either side. It's a bit of a subdued start here.
Yeah, it has been cagey, especially for the visiting side, expecting them to put a bit more pressure, but maybe it's a tactic today. Remember, it is 2 legs, as we mentioned, so no need to risk too early.
Does require, from a tactical point of view as well, from the coaches need to always bear that in mind, that whatever happens here this afternoon, it's only half time, so to speak. Crunching challenge here on Apollos. The referee Kasa was very well positioned there, had a good look at it, thought it was a clean challenge, hard but fair. Ndlovu holding it up now. There's the last ball clipped here for, and then just see what the idea was there from Tsepo Mokoena. Just couldn't get it over the defender. Just Karabo Traka came through the development here. It's Sekhukhune. The other semi-final takes place tomorrow. The Montville Golden Arrows host Mamelodi Sundowns. Sundowns fresh from a midweek win. Had to dig deep against Maruma Guns, but they got there in the end. Mamelodi Sundowns. And notching up a clean sheet for the first time this season, remarkably. This is Apolles. Saka for company. That's well won by Mukwena. Now bursting through the middle. This could be on here. That's just offside. It just had gone too early. Just gone too early. Lisonono Mojela.
This is a brilliant turn here from Ramala and a burst of speed. From this angle, difficult to tell. But you asked when are they going to let the speedsters loose, and there's evidence of that.
First chance that we've really seen one of them stretch his legs. It's D'Angelo on the far side there, playing it left back, replacing Vuyo Letlapa. D'Angelo Kazim. Pirates. Lungu's ball straight into the defender there, Keze. And the Pirates have won 5 of the last 6 finals of this MTN 8. It's been total domination. Well, won a hat-trick under Jose Rivero. 3 in a row, and then Amsterdam Abdeslam Wadu arrived and won it at his first attempt. Fabulous season the Pirates had, doing what they've done now on 3 occasions. That's a win a league and cup treble. Space. Dion Horto. Comes to Apollos again. Getting up there in the center of the pitch. Masilela manages to get the cross in. Could fall for Horto, but trying to cushion it down for Apollos. So good move there, Pirates, sharing the ball nicely. Then Longo's operating on that right hand side.
Yeah, he done excellent to get the cross in here, Lungu. And then Horto, just in 2 minds.
Daniel Cardoso. He's had a good record over the years against Orlando Pirates, especially in his days at Kaizer Chiefs. Loved the derby goal that did Cardoso. So we're gonna, looks like Sophia, we're going to have a hydration break here at Peter Mokaba Stadium. It's a hot afternoon, Stanley Fredericks. Let's get your thoughts then on what we've seen thus far in the game.
Yeah, I think the stats will give evidence to the start to both sides. No shots on target thus far, but it's a bit of a slow start here from Orlando Pirates. We expected them to come out guns blazing, but I think it's a tactic that they are deploying. You did say it is a 2-legged affair, so being cautious because they are the away side, having this new look midfield for Orlando Pirates in Tiani, Mokobori, as well as Masilela playing in that 10 role today. But for Sekhukhune, looking sharp, waiting for the moments to unleash that speedy attack that they possess.
Yeah, interesting changes in midfield with Cameron Danson, who had been deployed in that midfield role it started every other match. And Maswanganye, also who we mentioned, is a notable absentee in the squad today, as Paulus Massé is the man dishing out the instructions there. And the referee's also taking on some fluids. Well, this is the 13th time these two sides have faced each other in all competitions. And Pirates have Sekhukhune that main grandstand is packed. I can tell you that. And we'll continue shortly now. Pirates carrying on a run of 4 matches unbeaten so far. Only dropped points against Amazulu in a Petway Premiership match. They said in the Premiership they've met 10 times, these two sides, with 4 wins apiece, 2 matches ending in draws and 4 losses each, so very evenly matched. And then in cup games they've met twice, with Pirates winning both, including the one in an MTN 8 where they smashed 5 past Sekhukhune United in the quarterfinal. So Sekhukhune have never beaten Pirates in a cup match. And they'll be looking to go one better than they did last season when they reached the semis, Sekhukhune, before losing to Stellies. They've twice been quarterfinalists and in their semis last season, so they'll be hoping they can go one better and actually reach a final.
Sekhukhune making it very compact in the middle, so Orlando Pirates are forced to go from side to side and try and get some penetration down the flanks.
Dion Hotto. Half an hour played in this first leg semi-final of the MTN 8. Good pressure. Then Sekhukhune winning the possession. Now they can break here. A chance for Mokoena to stretch those legs. He's a bit isolated now. He'll have to wait for support. Mokoena gets it from Ndlovu, holding it up there with a man on his back, but in the end is dispossessed quite easily.
Lungu's been ever busy all afternoon. So right hand side for Orlando Pirates, very versatile. Lungu and Sibelebele both can play as right backs as well as attackers.
Sibelebele, when he was out at TS Galaxy, actually was started off as a right winger, and then due to injuries was forced into a right back position. He was forced to play as a right back, and well, he's since perfected that role. It's a free kick here for Pirates. 2 players very capable. We've already seen Apollo score from a set piece via a hefty deflection. But Hotto, I don't think this particular angle would favor his left boot. unless they're going to try and float something into the box there. And if it's a direct attempt on goal, you would fancy a Paulus, but let's see what they can work it. Unless Hotto will try and bend it around the wall, to the left of the wall as you watch things. It's a Paulus. Maybe Telezi has probably seen all his tricks in training before.
Probably. They've done extremely well to up and over the wall. Those are not easy saves for the goalkeeper. Just bounced in front of him. Brilliant save there from Buthelezi.
Well positioned. Yeah, started with a bit of a baptism of fire in his first couple of games. Conceded 5 goals in his first 2 matches for Sekhukhune Telezi, and actually was dropped after that 4-3 game against Amazulu in the quarterfinals, and Tostan Sabata has given a run, and then Melusi Telezi was back the very next game. Siema plays it down the line to Sibelebele. Sibelebele and Tsofatso Nyama being the wingers at TS Galaxy. And Nyama also became a fullback because of injuries. Remember Max Munyai being injured, and then Ibrahim Seidat, and that's what led to the conversion of those two players. Yes, Nyegomovi. Just over 10 minutes to go in the first half that is really yet to come alive. And I'm sure players also playing within themselves and managing their energy levels. It is a hot day here in the Limpopo capital. They don't mess around with spring in this part of the world. Go straight from winter into summer. Temperatures are flirting with the 30s. Siema. Can he be the light for them this afternoon?
Commentator's curse.
Oh, yeah.
There we go.
Oh, wow. Overcooked that one. Turn Hotto. His experience will be so necessary for this, a youthful Pirate side. The likes of Hotto and Spacey. Role becomes that much more important in guiding the youngsters. That's a good looking ball to find Muchela. Didn't really bring it under control, but he still got it here, Muchela. Yeah, just surrounded by maybe too many black jerseys to get past. Good work, good recovery from Gosnati Spacey, the skipper. Muchela popping up there in that left-hand side. He scored against the Pirates before at Stellies, remember, in that MTN 8 final last season.
Just in full for him there, Muchela.
Scored 5 times in all competitions for Sekhukhune last season after making the move from Stellies. Didn't have the happiest of time in the Western Cape, Muchela.
Yeah, he started off well for Stellenbosch and then got that long-term injury.
Foul and a free kick again in this Lungu is the man foul this time, but it's a free kick again in a dangerous position. Sekhukhune United have never kept a clean sheet in the MTN 8 and have only ever won 1 match in this competition. That was a quarter-final win against TS Galaxy last season. Now let's see what Pirates can come up with this time. they were thinking of a crack on goal. I would have thought this maybe an angle that would suit Dion Hotto more, and that's why he is in attendance there with and then steps away. Who will it be to hit it? Do it fancy Hotto? It is Hotto! Melissa Buteles, he dives spectacularly and claims that one. May have been going wide, but Buteles were taking no chances.
It was a good shot and a good save there.
Yeah, read it well, and he moved very well as well across his line there, did Melusi Buteles. I said you'll have the advantage of having, I'm sure, faced these kind of set pieces from the Pirates players on plenty of occasions in the last 2 seasons that he was with the club. See shots on target that count as 2, but I wonder whether that last one would have been counted as, I don't think it was on target. But,
yeah. I think it was on target.
I think the original, the first, what was it, the previous set piece where it was hit by Apollos,
yeah.
That one was on target, but comfortably, both comfortably dealt with. This is good stuff here from Mkize. Wow. Well, did well to hold on to the ball there, especially Mkize. And Nick draws the foul.
Just twisting and turning them, Mkize.
Muchela forced backwards. Started at the back with Tsepo Matsimbi. Nico Movi. Ndlovu in that contest with Sibisi. Intriguing one there. Mukwena Ramala. It was from that sort of range that he scored against Amazulu. Paramala. He's got power in that left.
This is some excellent striker play, hold-up play there from Ndlovu. Ramala got 2 opportunities to have the strike, and well defended there from Orlando Pirates. They understand the danger he poses.
Only 2 goal attempts from the home side. Lungu complaining that this guy has been having a field day on me there. D'Angelo Kazim has got the job on him. We are hearing we'll have a minimum of 3 minutes at the end of 45. Rather a high foul count on the side of Sekhukhune. There are 9 fouls. And they've already had a player go into the book. That's Matsimbi, for a rather clumsy challenge on Dion Hotto. Here is Hotto. CMI looking to thread a ball through for Sibili, but he telegraphed it a bit, and the defender read it well. Away by Muchela. Spacey underneath it, keeping tabs on Ndlovu. Ndlovu doing an excellent job up front of holding up the ball and bringing in his support attackers. He's done a good job with his back to goal. And you know he won't stop. He will work his socks off all day long.
He's enjoying that battle up against the captain for Orlando Pirates, Sibisi.
Sibisi getting a little too close there, and he's given away a set piece here, a free kick. Sipochain, who's been largely a spectator, that might be called upon now. Jela runs over, leaves it. Almost made something of it. I thought it was not the best delivery, but now they could be hit on the break here. Lungu was trying to find Apollos, who I think might have been offside if the ball had reached him. Those were Napolis. So now something for Sbilibili to chase. Great sweeping ball there to change the point of attack. Apollos. Can Pirates find the breakthrough here just before the break? Hotto to Lungu. Now Hotto! Right on cue. Just as a house, can they find the opener? Dion Hotto delivers. Scores his first in this season's MTN 8, his 6th overall. And what a time to get it. Superb strike and a well-worked move. Telezi completely beaten by the pace of that shot, Standard Fredericks.
Yeah, it was a well-timed run from Dion Hotto, and a screamer had left Butanezi standing. He hasn't made his way up this pitch in the first half too long. Here he is, a pass and a move from Dion Hotto. Excellent vision from Lungu, one touch to set it up, and top bins from Dion Hotto. Too much power for Butanezi to handle.
Too Hotto to handle. And Telezi, no chance left, no chance, just way too much power. As Dion Hotto gets his first goal of the season. And Pirates, the holders, are up and running. And that's a crucial away goal as well. Underline that. And that's the first time they've scored against Sekhukhune in 2 matches. Remember last season they didn't score against Sekhukhune in the 2 matches they played in the league. But it's Dion Hotto that makes a breakthrough just before the break. And I think Sekhukhune will be a little disappointed with how they defended that one. Credit to Pirates for the way they moved the ball there quickly. There's some quick one-touch passing there. And Hotto was in, and once he gets into that situation, you've got to always put your money on him.
We did say that the joy for Pirates will come down the flanks. Sekhukhune very compact, not allowing them access through the middle. And that brilliant movement there from Hotto unlocked that defense.
A man who gets his fair share of goals. Only managed 1 last season, remarkably, in the domestic competition. 1 goal in 29 appearances for Dion Hotto last season, so he's already matched that tally. We are into the minimum 3 minutes to be added on at the end of the first half. Sekhukhune United find themselves trailing now. Mukwena's ball in. It's too close to Sipho Chain, catching practice. Mukubudi lost possession, but he's regained it. That's a good ball out wide to find Sbilibili. Still Sbilibili. Still Sbilibili, but that left foot, as someone described it, is more for getting off the bus. Wasn't able to generate much pace.
Lacked a bit of power, but an amazing run there from Sbilibili. Done extremely well to keep the ball in play, and then showed his attacking ability.
Giving it away. Here's Sekhukhune in dangerous territory. Mosilela couldn't pick out the pass from Butuma. He well read by Daniel Cardoso. Now, can Sekhukhune go in level? Rammala working it wide to Mojela. Then playing it to Rammala again. Rammala's first time ball in. Couldn't get it past Siema. Throw in for Sekhukhune into the last minute of the minimum 3. They'll be disappointed. They said to Kazin along with Polos Masia and Papistan about the way they conceded that one. They had kept things tight up to that point defensively, hadn't really given Pirates many look-ins, but they gave Hotto a free strike on goal there. Virtually. I mean, well worked by Pirates. Take nothing away from the build-up. I think there was a little bit of ball watching that was happening there as well. It's not a good ball at all. No one there. I'm not sure who that was intended for. I guess Lamwadi will be happy to go in with the lead as Mr.